Poker face, poker face.
Ever wanted to master the game of Texas Hold'em poker? Immerse yourself in a world of skill, strategy, and a little bit of luck as we delve into the most popular poker variant played around the globe. This game has captivated millions, from casual players enjoying a friendly game at home to professionals battling it out in high-stakes tournaments. What makes poker so enticing? The beautiful paradox that it's both simple and complex. The rules are straightforward, but the strategies and tactics you can employ are virtually limitless. It's a game where you can't control the cards you're dealt, but you can control how you play them. And remember, it's not all about the thrill of the game. It's also about responsibility. Gambling is a pastime that requires maturity, which is why you need to be over 18 to play. Poker is easy to learn, but deceptively complex to master. So, are you ready to shuffle up and deal? Let's delve into the mechanics of Texas Hold'em poker. In Texas Hold'em, each player is dealt 2 private cards known as hole cards. These are dealt face down, so only the player holding them can see. Additionally, 5 community cards are dealt face up on the board. The player aims to create the best 5-card poker hand using any combination of their 2 hole cards and the 5 community cards. But before we move forward, let's shed some light on an essential aspect of the game: the small and big blinds. These are forced bets posted by players to the left of the dealer button. The big blind is generally twice the size of the small blind. This setup is a strategic move in the game designed to promote action at the table. It prevents players from merely folding their hands and waiting for premium cards. Now, on to the betting rounds. The game commences with the pre-flop round, where each player, starting with the one to the left of the big blind, decides whether to fold, call, or raise, depending on their hole cards. We then move to the flop, the first 3 community cards dealt face up on the board. Another round of betting starts, beginning with the player to the left of the dealer. Following this is the turn, where another community card is dealt and a further round of betting occurs. Lastly, we arrive at the river, in the final community card dealt on the board, followed by the final betting round. If 2 or more players remain after this round, there's a showdown. Players reveal their hole cards, and the one with the best hand wins the pot. Note that the size of the bets and raises usually doubles in the last 2 rounds, the turn and the river, raising the stakes and intensifying the game. Texas Hold'em. Poker is a game of incomplete information where decisions are based on your cards, your position at the table, and the actions of other players. It's a strategic and luck-based game where the best hand doesn't always win, but the best player typically. By mastering these rules, you're on your way to becoming a poker pro. Before we dive into the best and worst hands, it's crucial to understand the rankings of poker hands. In Texas Hold'em, the player with the highest ranking hand at the showdown wins the pot. All poker hands consist of 5 cards, and the hand rankings from lowest to highest are as follows. The lowest ranking hand is a high card. This means that the value of your highest card determines the strength of your hand. Next is a pair, which consists of 2 cards of the same rank. The 2 pairs hand consists of 2 different pairs. A 3 of a kind is a hand that contains 3 cards of the same rank. A straight is a 5-card hand with consecutive ranks. For example, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Moving up, we have a flush, where all 5 cards are from the same suit but not in sequence. A full house includes a pair and a 3 of a kind. A 4 of a kind is a hand that contains all 4 cards of one rank. The second highest hand is a straight flush, which is 5 cards of the same suit in sequence. And the highest possible hand in poker is the royal flush, which is a straight flush consisting of the ace, king, queen, jack, and 10 of the same suit. The probability of getting each hand varies. High cards and pairs are common, while getting a royal flush is a rare occurrence. Knowing your hand strength relative to your opponent's potential hands is the first step in making strategic decisions in poker. Remember, a good poker player knows when to hold them and when to fold them, and a lot of that decision comes down to understanding the strength of your hand. Knowing which hands to play and which to fold is crucial. In the Texas Hold'em, some hands are more likely to win you the pot, while others can lead you down a slippery slope of losses. The best hole cards, or the two cards you're dealt at the start of the game, are the ones that give you the highest probability of forming a winning combination. Now let's take a look at a chart showing the top 10 starting hole cards in Texas Hold'em poker, along with the probability of each hand winning against one random hand of your opponent. This will give you a clear perspective of which hands are most likely to give you the upper hand. Among these, the royal couple, also known as ace-king of the same suit, is a strong hand to start with. It offers a chance to hit a straight, a flush, or even a royal flush if the stars align just right. Another strong hand is a pair of aces, also known as pocket rockets. This hand is the highest possible pre-flop hand and gives you a strong start right off the bat. While the aforementioned hands are great, not all hands are created equal. Some hands are notorious for their ability to trick players into thinking they have a winning chance, only to lead them to a loss. One such hand is the 7-2 offsuit, widely recognized as the worst hand in Texas Hold'em. The chances of hitting a straight or a flush with this hand are slim to none, and you're likely to be outkicked even if you manage to land a pair. Another hand to be wary of is the ace-2 offsuit. While the presence of an ace might seem promising, this hand is often a trap. Its low kicker, the second card, makes it a weak hand that's likely to be beaten by any other ace-x combination. So, why should we play the best hands and avoid the worst ones? Simply put, it's all about maximizing your chances of winning and minimizing your risk of loss. The best hands have a higher probability of forming strong combinations, while the worst hands are more to lead you to a loss. Remember, the key to winning is not just about the cards you hold, but how you play them. Understanding the strengths and weaknesses of your hole cards is a significant step towards mastering the game of Texas Hold'em. In poker, fortune favors the bold. This age-old adage rings true, especially when it comes to the game of Texas Hold'em. Aggressive play often proves successful, and let's delve into why that is. Poker is not merely a game of chance, but a dance of strategy and psychology. When you play aggressively, you take control of the narrative. You set the pace, and you force your opponents to react to your actions. This can lead to them making mistakes, and that's where you can capitalize. Now let's talk about bluffing, a key weapon in the arsenal of an aggressive player. A bluff is essentially a lie, a poker fib, if you will, told through your bets. You're essentially saying, "I've got a great hand," even when your cards say otherwise. The beautiful part is, if your opponents believe your lie and fold their hands, you win the pot, regardless of what cards you're holding. Then there's the semi-bluff, a slightly safer maneuver. This is when you've got a decent but not stellar hand. You could potentially win, but it's not a sure shot. By betting aggressively, you give yourself two ways to win. Either your opponents fold, or you hit your card on the turn or the river to make the best hand. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Aggressive betting must be balanced with a keen understanding of odds and pot size. You don't want to bet one big blind when there are already 20 big blinds in the middle. It's about making your bets relative to what's already at stake, and sizing them according to your odds of winning the hand. This is why playing passively is usually a less effective strategy. Sure, you might avoid losses, but you also miss out on opportunities to win big. When you're aggressive, you don't just play to survive, you play to win. Being aggressive doesn't mean being reckless. It's about calculated risks, strategic bluffs, and seizing control of the game. It's about understanding the odds and knowing when to strike. And when you play your cards right, being aggressive can open up opportunities to win hands even when you don't have the best cards. Understanding poker lingo and etiquette can give you an edge. It's like learning a new language and culture, immersing yourself in the world of poker. So let's dive into some of the key terms and practices. Firstly, the term blinds. These are mandatory bets made before the cards are dealt by two players to the left of the dealer. The small blind is half the minimum bet, while the big blind is the full minimum bet. Next up, the flop. This refers to the first three community cards dealt face up on the table. The following community card is the turn, and the final one is the river. Now, on to betting terms. To call is to match the current bet. To raise is to increase the bet. And if you hear someone say they're going to fold, they're dropping out of the current hand. We also have the term all in, which means a player is betting all their chips. A bluff is when a player bets or raises with a weak hand, hoping to scare off opponents. Conversely, a semi-bluff is a bet or raise with a hand that isn't the best at the moment but has the potential to improve. Now let's talk etiquette. When you're at the table, respect is key. Keep your cards visible and remember not to touch your chips once you've placed your bet. When it's your turn to act, be prompt. Poker is a game of skill and strategy, but it's also a social event. So be gracious whether you're on a winning streak or the cards aren't falling your way. One more thing. Watch out for sharks. These are experienced players who prey on beginners. They're easy to spot once you know what to look for. They play aggressively, bluff frequently, and tend to dominate the table talk. Don't let them intimidate you. Stick to your strategy and play your game. With this knowledge, you're ready to sit at any poker table with confidence. After all, poker isn't just about the cards you're dealt, but how you play them. And now you've got some extra aces up your sleeve. Now that you're equipped with the basics of Texas Hold'em poker, it's time to put your skills to test. You've learned the rules, you know the best and worst hands, and you understand the importance of playing aggressively. You're aware that poker is a game of skill and luck, where decisions are made based on incomplete information. And you're ready to bluff and semi-bluff your way to victory, sizing your bets according to the odds and seizing opportunities to win without showing your hand. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Your likes help us create more content and guide you on your poker journey. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more poker videos. We're planning insightful content like do's and don'ts at the poker table and simple tips to level up your poker game. Remember, whether you win or lose, what's important is making the right decisions. Keep practicing and you'll see your poker game improve.